Thank you. Speaking into all three cameras. Awesome. Thank you, Nick. Okay, so what we're doing today is we're going to be talking about how nutraceuticals, organic loose leaf teas and herbs, not just teas and herbs. In fact, specifically, what Zen's Tea House does is we work with naturopathic doctors, homeopathic doctors, licensed holistic medical physicians who use nutraceuticals, loose leaf teas, and herbs as medicine. Now, a lot of people today are looking for alternatives to pharmaceutical drugs. And Zen's Tea House nutraceutical statement, we cannot diagnose, we cannot recommend, we cannot even give you advice on how to drink the teas and herbs. Please speak to your licensed medical physician. That being said, I want to have a nice little disclaimer for my brother Nick. This show is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, but is for educational purposes only. Our members, our affiliates, and third parties do not reflect the values of Zen's Tea House or Adrenaline Radio and do not act as an authority. Please consult with your medical physician before making any changes to your diet or lifestyle. All right, let's get started. So, since the year 2012, Zen's Tea House was building its infrastructure. The main objective was helping people through the power of tea. Now, we've done a lot. We have kids, we've done special events, even spent some time in some malls. That was an expensive venture. And what we did was we perfected our formula. We have done bottling, manufacturing, private labeling, corporate events, and our research and experience shows that our future is in the healthcare industry. As long as there are over prescriptions of unhealthy living, the amount of medical physicians promoting teas and herbs, nutraceuticals, let me make sure I get this right, is going to increase. Again, helping people through the power of tea is our mission, but we don't make health claims. All right. So why are we on Adrenaline Radio? Why are we broadcasting live via Facebook, YouTube, and other social media platforms? By the way, I did Instagram. It was good. It works, but for the quality and the pixels, if you want to enjoy them, please, you can take a look at our YouTube live video or Facebook live. Those are also available. Education is what we seek. And if you watched in our last video, you'll notice that I was a rookie. I made a few mistakes, but what is clear is my educate our community, helping people through the power of working with licensed medical physician includes people tuning in. So I'm very business, and I was not foolish to think that I could just go on the radio and talk for an hour about holistic health education. That's not my cup of tea. No, so I picked up a book I wrote back in 2015. Again, it's on Amazon if you want, or you can email me, fernando@zenstea.com. I'll send you the free PDF for free. But what I want to make clear is the points that are in this video. The points that are in this book. So as the founder and president of Zen's Tea House, also the COO of MJ Biotech, a publicly traded company on the OTC stock market, trading symbol MJTV, I can offer a few educational insights as a business owner who specializes in the nutraceutical industry. But I'm not a medical physician. And although complementary and alternative healthcare is a passion of mine, what you're going to see in later videos is health education from licensed medical physicians. Now, some medical physicians are teachers, some are working in complementary and alternative healthcare, so they're not recognized. They cannot be licensed by the state to practice medicine, but these are healers. They come from different countries, and these are men and women who are genuinely interested in helping people. So, that being said, the FDA disclaimer, all this I have to get out, okay? For future videos, when we bring in the doctors and the licensed medical physicians, I need to make clear that our products, organic yerba mate, I got some Juno stem, I got some golden milk here in the back. As a manufacturer, we cannot make any claims on dietary supplements, and our labels is a big, big deal. We take helping people through the power of tea very seriously because the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, it's their job to make sure that there's no quacks, that there are no people who are slapping in some, baby powder and calling it vitamin C. Although there are some companies who have done that, and the FDA, a government regulated organization, has done the right thing, which is to go and regulate. And I'm a big fan of the FDA. I'm also a big fan of the government. I spent 5 years in the United States Navy. I served honorably on the USS Ronald Reagan from 2008 to 2012. I served 5 years in total. And so I want to make it clear that we are abiding by the rules. So for this reason, the law states that if a diet supplement, it must be a disclaimer that there's no diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease, because only a drug can legally make a claim. Wow, only a drug can legally make. That's important. So you can take a look at section 110355 of the California Health and Safety Code, Division 104, Part 5, states that whenever the department determines that regulations containing prohibitions or requirements other than those prescribed by section 110340, this is the fair packaging and labeling, are necessary to prevent deception of consumers or to facilitate value comparisons as to any food, drug, device, or cosmetics. The department shall adopt regulations with respect to that commodity. That last part, the department shall adopt regulations with respect to that commodity. That's because Zen's Tea House isn't really tea. It's not a food. No, it is medicine, botanical medicine. Complementary and alternative medicine is how the United States regulates it and sees that. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Please take a look at our Facebook Live. You can message us. You can go Google Zen's Tea House, Facebook, Zen. We should be right there on the top. If you're live streaming, please say hello. We're also on YouTube. Our mission statement is helping people through the power of tea. If you have any questions regarding health benefits, teas, herbs, we're not going to make those claims. We're actually going to point you to the medical physicians, the doctors, because they're the ones that are qualified to make any claims. All right? So let me take a look. Again, we're live. I know it's a Monday, so not too many people up. Good. Make sure that's available. All right. So let me go back to the Holistic Business Handbook. So HMOs, I know I said this last time, but I'm repeating it because we're a little more organized. HMOs make one of the biggest and most successful businesses in America, and they're doing so through capitalization. Capitalization is an arrangement of healthcare services and providers. It provides a place so that medical physicians can do business. And it works. This is how it works. You get more people enrolled, you get more people to a doctor, the more money that can be made. Essentially, you're bringing in the most amount of people as possible. Why? Because it's you as a medical physician, you are interested in caring for people, and quality control, making sure you get the right type of people in, is very important. I'm going to take a look at the Hotmail account, please. Hotmail. That's Fernando@zenstea.com, please. So, last time we let off, we were talking about the systems of healthcare and therapies that are recognized by the United States government. Biological-based therapies was one of them. This is herbal therapies, special diets. People want to know, how does this stuff work? Herbal remedies. And if you look at what we do online, if you look at our website, you'll see that none of our products, nothing is making a claim without a research medical citation. What makes a research medical citation? It means it's peer reviewed, it's been published, it's been academically challenged, and often cited. We just did a MailChimp email sent on the benefits of turmeric. Now, turmeric is used in Zen's Tea House's probably more famous blend. It's called Golden Milk. Now, Golden Milk is a great tasting blend with cinnamon, ginger, and turmeric. We're going to talk about first one, turmeric, an overview of the potential benefits of turmeric. This is by Dr. Keith Singletary. He's got a PhD. You can look at his dissertation and how he's very qualified to talk about the benefits of teas and herbs, specifically turmeric. It was published in Nutrition Today. And let's talk about what he says. The spice of turmeric is derived from an herb, Rhizome curcuma longa al, has been used for centuries in food preparations and in traditional medicines to treat numerous diseases and conditions. The primary biological active constituent of turmeric is the polyphenol. Polyphenol curcumin is an orange-yellow powder that has potential. Oh, not actually, it doesn't say potential. It says an orange-yellow powder that has potent anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. There was a customer who gave us a testimonial. We're probably going to make that available to the public, but it was actually an email today saying how finances are hard. Yes, taxes are due in 5 days. It's April 10th. And, actually it's April 9th. And taxes are due, finances are hard, and so she took a break from buying her tea. And in a few days, she wasn't feeling so good. No, really, you can take a look. We're going to make the testimony available. She was not taking her medicine, her Zen's Tea House medicine, teas and herbs, and she started feeling pretty sick. That sucks. I'm sorry. So she bought her tea, and within a few days, she was feeling much better. Again, Zen's Tea House, we're not making the claims. What we're doing is we're educating people about the health benefits of teas and herbs. Turmeric is being one of them. And if you take a look at our website, we actually quote the doctor. What it says is that the 3 points that are on our website: brain function, circulation, inflammation. It says our grounded turmeric is a high-grade powder derived from the turmeric root, which means it grows underground. Turmeric has been used for centuries, just like the quote says, for its overall healing remedy for the entire body. Yeah, it's actually known for helping physically helping the body. Turmeric contains curcumin, that's curcumin. It's recognized by several medical physicians for the health as being a key component for botanical medicine. It is a spice. You can use it for your cooking. My wife likes to put it in our spaghetti, but we also put it in the golden milk, and we use that for our yogurt. So it's a food ingredient, but in and of itself, it is a medicine. It can also be used as a dye, and it's a profitable crop used in India. Although the presence of curcumin is small, it has been well documented that this root, turmeric, is well recognized for its health benefits. Take a look at the Yelp reviews. You'll see there's a bunch of people who are using golden milk. Again, golden milk in and of itself, you can't just take without speaking to your medical physician. I was speaking to Maritza Worthington, a licensed certified holistic nutritionist. Shout out to Maritza. I'm going to put her information on available. We were actually talking about how golden milk is great, but if you have a food allergy, guess what? It's not going to work out so well, because you can be physically healthy and be eating healthy, but if you're eating the wrong type of food, if you're allergic, well, then we have a problem. Okay? Anyone have any questions, please send me an email. I'm taking a look. I don't see that available. But again, we're also live streaming on YouTube. I see 1 like. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. This is my second time, so you can start throwing the curveball questions, and we'll do. Okay. So thanks to groups like the Integrated Medicine and Holistic Health Association, companies like Zen's Tea House are able to exist. Our goal is helping people through the power of tea. It's not a marketing strategy, but inherent philosophy of what we carry, of what we believe in. Take a look at that. That's on our YouTube. Instagram, Facebook. Great. So the National Center for Complementary and Alternative Medicine describes mind-body medicine as focusing on the interaction among the brain, mind, body, and behavior, and the powerful ways in which emotional, mental, and spiritual and behavioral factors can directly affect the health. All right, you ready for this? We just talked about disclaimers, FDA. I gave the 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 health claim that we cannot make any health decisions regarding your diet. Please speak with a medical physician. Talked about the benefits of turmeric, and now we're talking about the National Center for Complementary and Alternative Medicine. Again, this is in the book, The Holistic Business Handbook. It's available on Amazon. So the National Center for Complementary and Alternative Medicine describes mind-body medicine as focusing on the interactions among the brain, mind, body, and behavior, and the powerful ways in which emotional, mental, social, spiritual, and behavioral factors can directly affect the health. We're going to be talking. This is what we're really this is really what we're shooting for. We want people to know and experience overall health and wellness. Drinking tea is great. It's awesome. I love it. It's my job, but I was drinking tea before since Tea House. And I want to make sure that there's more than the physical body. There's the brain, the mind, behavioral actions. And when you're looking at overall health, you have to take in your emotional health, your mental health, your social health. I was with activist June. She is also in the holistic health. She's located in Long Beach. We did a Facebook Live with her. She's also on YouTube. And you'll see that the points she brings up regarding environmental health is very influential. There are subjects you could Google this. I'm going to talk. We're talking about the multiple aspects of health. We're talking about physical, mental, emotional, social, and spiritual. But we're going to talk about environmental. One of the things that June and I were talking about is when you're looking at environmental health, where you live is the most important. If you live in the mountain areas and you are, you're breathing fine and you're doing exercise, your body is naturally going to build up immunities to the viruses that accumulate in high mountainous areas, specifically in the region that you're located at. But if you're located in downtown Long Beach, where there's a lot of smog, very busy ports, and there's such things as food deserts. What is a food desert? Food desert is it's known as a city or location area where there's no access to healthy foods. What do I mean by no access to healthy foods? I mean there's a lot of McDonald's. Maybe I shouldn't use that word. I'll see if I can delete that. There's a lot of fast food businesses and a lot of liquor stores, and no healthy access to farmers markets. There's no, I can't use the names, but like your local grocery store, not available. Think about that. Environmental health. Why is this important? Because you are now looking at trying to take action, trying to be healthier, but guess what? You are in an environment that does not allow you to be healthy. Inner city areas, this is well known. Inner city areas, specifically in Southern California, it's a problem. There are a lot of people who have food stamps and they're trying to get healthy, but they don't have any good grocery stores. They don't have access to good healthy food available. It's not readily available. So this is something to consider when you are trying to look at health. Now, I understand you're a product of your environment to some extent, but if we're going to be educating and empowering people about the health benefits of teas and herbs and nutraceuticals, then please consider, how is your environment? I understand it's not easy. These are tough conversations. If you in a neighborhood where, no, let me say this. If you live in a household where you never eat breakfast, and by the way, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. If you live in a household where no one eats breakfast, then that will also take a toll on your body. Now, I'm going to talk about breakfast later. Again, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a dietitianist. What I am is a health advocate who believes in helping people through the power of tea. And today we're covering the multiple aspects of health: physical, emotional, mental, social, spiritual, all of which develop us personally with behavioral habits. Sounds good? All right, let me move on. So, the mind body medicine typically focuses on intervention strategies that are thought to promote health, such as relaxations, hypnosis, visual imagery, meditation, yoga, biofeedback, Tai Chi, Qui-Gon, cognitive behavioral therapies, um, such as support groups, that they help train the mind and the body and the soul to get healthy. Now, I'm going to talk about when I was in the military for a second, because you're around a bunch of people who are in an environment that is very physically fit. You will have to be physically healthy, but maybe socially and emotionally, it's not as involved. It's not as concerned about your health. So you're saying work out, work out, work out, physically work out, eat healthy. You eat healthy, but also your environment is you're not never able to rest. There's some people who are trying to get healthier and they're physically working out, but they're never eating breakfast or they're not taking any stretches. Stretching is a huge thing. There are people who contact Zen's Tea House saying, I have migraines. Can you give me a tea for that? And I say, no way, Jose. I'm not touching that. No one, none of our Zen's Tea House team, even our herbal specialists who work inside the shop at a warehouse, and we also have some who come in just to volunteer. By the way, if you want to volunteer, you can email me, fernando@zenstea.com, and we'd love to have you. We do free training. But again, people who are inquiring, oh, I need a tea for migraines, that's not how it works. A migraine can be from an assortment of different areas. Maybe it's because you weren't eating breakfast. Maybe it's because you weren't drinking enough water. It could be because all you're doing is drinking or eating or consuming some level of unhealthiness. And if you think that taking something else, adding it to your plate, is going to help, then sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but maybe it's not what you're consuming. Maybe it's your environment, or it's what you're not consuming. So that's that put out right there. So many government officials are unaware of this field. Now, many people are many are not educated on the benefits of eating and drinking healthy. Why? Every society has its pros and cons. The culture that we have, we live in a consumer nation. I was on LinkedIn and someone said, "No, we live in a selfie nation." I said, "Yeah, maybe that's correct. Yeah, we live in a selfie nation." But the reality is, we live in a very unhealthy nation, and our mission is to integrate these health benefits to teas and herbs so that you, the consumers, can forward that to other family members and people who are active in their community, because you can be going to the gym and be physically fit, but if you again aren't eating your breakfast, if you're not eating your Wheaties, if you're not drinking healthy, then it's going to have an effect on your health. So before starting or entering into this health venture, some of us are healthy, okay? I'm totally okay with that. And a lot of people in the Zen's Tea House community, they're pretty health conscious. And medical physicians and professionals, doctors who are experts in their field, and we're going to bring them in and we're going to talk. So again, if you don't want to leave a comment and you don't want to talk about the benefits of teas and herbs, you're afraid to ask the question, that's totally fine. What we want to do is provide a platform. It's all free. All of our educational information, it's free. Our menu, it's all free. And we can't do this without you. All right? Again, Zen's Tea House. www.zenstea.com. It was Albert Einstein who said, "Great spirits have always encountered violent opposition from mediocre minds." When we did Zen's Tea House for the first time, there were a lot of people who said, "Tea? No one drinks tea." Mind you, this is when Red Bull Red Bull had a paratroop or had an astronaut jump from space and landed. It was so cool. I loved that. But it was like Red Bull, energy drinks, coffee. That's what it's about. No one drinks tea. And I understood that. I totally understand that we maybe I have to be careful with disclaimers, but there are companies that specialize. Oh, we do it here, detox this, detox that. No, it's more than just a drink. There is a physical part, there's an emotional, there's a mental, there's a social, there's also a spiritual aspect. And Albert Einstein, I quote him because when you are trying to launch into a new field of being physically healthy, there's always going to be opposition. I'm also very pro educator, so that's why we're starting with education. So the best educators are the ones who are always learning and consciously pursuing a more in-depth understanding of their field. I hope you're here because you're interested in learning more about health, specifically holistic health. Mind you, we're little side note, we are going to be bringing in people who are MDs, people who do work with pharmaceuticals, and I'm very pro pharmaceuticals because let's be honest, if herbal medicine was everything we needed, then we'd all be healthy, right? Yeah. There's a need for pharmaceuticals. There's a need for institutions and education on pharmacology. All those are important. But we're introducing Zen's Tea Houses, providing a platform so that people who are interested in holistic health have access. So, no person, regardless of how long you've been in your industry, is qualified to say you're a well rounded expert if they're not passionately pursuing higher education. Every medical physician that I meet who is progressively and actively working to improve their business or their client's health are constantly educating themselves more and more. They're going to health fairs, they're taking classes. Mind you, if you are looking for a medical physician, a good way to find one is ask if they're in school. That's my preference. You can go and ask, but they're either in school or they're studying or they're reading. They're going to health centers. Those are really important. Okay, because the cam industry is growing, and we as the consumers must understand that not every doctor went to the same medical school, and you could be really well qualified. You could have your MD and your uh, medical doctorate specialty and write many dissertations and get published well, but if you're not continuing your education, then you're at a huge disadvantage. So it's not my intention to promote or target any specific topic, but to provide a smorgasbord of options regarding health. All right, all of which are accompanied by credible sources. So please, when you see this book, the Holistic Business Handbook, and you see the citations, please do your homework. It was written so that people who are interested in this field have a resource. Again, it's Zen's Tea House, www.zenstea.com. The book is called The Holistic Business Handbook. It's available on Amazon, but if you want it for free, please email me and I'll give you a free PDF form. Sounds good? So, we were talking about turmeric earlier. We're going to go back to it because it's known for an assortment of health benefits, and you could read it, and I highly advise you to. But there are some difficult words. I credit my many hours of reading articles that weren't easy and trying to reinterpret them and in a credible fashion, then reciprocating that information. That's what we do is we do our homework. We go to university websites, we find what was offered, what was published, and then we make that publicly available. We kind of summarize it and then drop words like hemoglobin and other advanced vocabulary that I'm just totally going to butcher. So we're going to talk about the historical and cultural use of herbs and spices. All right, this comes from the University of Wollongong, Australia. Wollongong, Australia. You can find it. This was published in 2006. And reason why we're doing this is because this kind of provides a historical background of why teas, herbs, and spices are still used. So again, we'll make this available. This is volume 185, number 4, published August 21st, 2006. So generally, the leaf of a plant is used in cooking and may be referred to as a culinary herb. And any other plant, turmeric being one of them, Camellia sinensis, also tea, can be one. They're dried. Spices, also used for aromatic flavors. Try to find yourself, try to find whatever teas and herbs are growing locally because those are the ones you want to use first. Why? Because the teas and herbs that, or the herbs and the leaves and the fruits that are growing in your local environment, they have bugs on them, and those bugs are building up natural antibodies. And the reason why you want the bugs to be not essentially want to eat the bugs, but if the bugs are eating the food, then chances are that food is healthy. Again, you probably won't hear that. I know there's a lot of grocery stores that don't want you to think that plants grow where bugs are, but the reality is that bugs are not in and of themselves bad. In fact, there's a long history of people who are looking for the health benefits of teas and herbs or even good food that they will go out of their way and use natural preservatives to fight off the bugs. In fact, in ancient Egyptian papyri, we got a source right here, 155 BC or BCE, recorded to use of a fennel, juniper, and a few other herbs as a natural preservative for teas and well, not teas, but natural preservative for herbs. So you can use natural preservatives to protect your teas. Fun fact. Take a look at the website. When this becomes available via YouTube, I will make sure I source it. So again, this is the ancient Egyptians. But people the Egyptians in this, reportedly, they fed lots of cattle and they had to understand that these health benefits, these herbs, this food was not only physically good for the cattle, good for themselves, but it made them physically healthier. One of the challenges that we have today is that our food isn't actually all that great food. And you take a look at where we are today, there's companies that have genetically modified organisms. There's these things called macro farms. Macro farms is you get produce, you grow it in a large area, and you don't allow for any other plants to get mixed in. My buddy Nick Fedorov with Things Grow, he's on this radio station. He knows a lot more about that than I do. But again, we're just putting that information out there that if you're interested in eating healthy, drinking healthy, and living healthy, then start where your food is. All right. So let's go on to some health benefits of teas, yeah? So regarding public health, it's difficult to estimate the current level of consumption for culinary herbs and spices in America. Why? Because there are people who can pick up some chamomile or mint or aloe vera in their backyard and use it for food, for drinks. Jamaica, also known as hibiscus, very common in Latin American drink. A lot of people put sugar in it. I gotta tell you, sugar is not where it's at. I'm sorry, and I'm actually gonna. So we can talk about sugar. I know. Do we want people to talk about sugar? Let me take a look. Let's go to Facebook Live if people are interested. All right. there have been reports on sugar and how it's addictive. And I'm going to talk about this in a second. So there's an organization, a really well established one. It's called, let me think of it, the National Library of Medicine. Yeah, the National Institute of Health. They've done tests on sugar, and I'm all for, there's all for natural sugar, okay? I'm all for providing preservatives and all that stuff because for your overall health, it's optimal to bring in such things because you don't want your food to go bad. But there are, you can take a look, and I'm going to make this available on YouTube, and also we're going to publish it on our website. That food addiction is real, and it's often associated with high amounts of sugar. So sugar is a noteworthy substance that releases uh, opoids. It's opioids, opoids, and dopamine. Dopamine is that stuff that's kind of euphoric, makes you feel good. This might be expected of a person who is active in their addiction. They have this rejuvenating feeling of like, ooh, this feels really good. Well, there's also binging, and if you eat a lot of food with sugar, you will binge and you will feel the withdrawal, sort of physical sugar detox. Some people have experienced that even with coffee, with soda, yes, even tea. You can, everything in moderation. That's the golden rule. I'm not saying that you should engage in trying to change your diet. Again, speak to your medical physician. But regarding food and the health benefits, it was just providing a platform saying, hey, you know what? If you're trying to get healthy, take a look at the preservatives that are there. Find out if it's locally grown. Also check how much sugar or salt are you adding to it, because binging and craving off of sugar is a real deal. There's a study that was done in 2007. It said evidence for sugar addiction, behavioral and neurochemical effects of intermittent excessive sugar intake. Now, why am I bringing this up? We're Zen's Tea House, teas, herbs, helping people, yes, but education is power. And if you think that adding tea to your sugar is doing you any good, well, it could be. I believe in the Mary Poppins saying, a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. And I believe this is medicine. But let's be honest, again, we are consuming a lot. And if we are binging off this sugar, then it's going to have an effect on our neural system, on our body, on our brain. Because physically you might be healthy, but if you are consuming high amounts of sugar, or really any mind altering substance, and sugar does fall into that, it could have a negative effect on your body. So I'm going to take a look again. It says, are there teas that will combat sugar cravings? Yes, there are teas that people use. One of them is stevia, organic stevia. You can look at it. We have it on our website. Oh, actually, you know what? I don't think we do have organic stevia on our website. I think I took it off because we had some organic stevia come in and it was good, but we sold it all. I'll make that available really quickly. I apologize for that. So stevia is, a lot of people see stevia and they think, oh, it's the powder form. That's good. Very few people have actually seen stevia in its raw, cut and sifted. It's a flower. Now, no, it's not a flower. It's a plant. And so when you're looking at the benefits of stevia, it's called stevia rebaudiana. Forgive me if I'm misspelling it wrong. But it's a biological sweetener, and there's a lot of companies who are using of sugar, and that's great. That's not a bad thing. Comparatively, it's probably way better. Probably, I'm not a medical physician. I'm taking a look online. If you see anything that says that stevia is better than sugar, then I'm sure that there's going to be some companies and some labor unions that are going to challenge that, because the sugar industry is a huge industry. So there's this journal called the International Journal of Food Sciences and Nutrition that did a study on stevia. as a biosweetener. Studies reveal that stevia has been used throughout the world since ancient times for various purposes. The citation is from S.K. Goyle. You can find the information. We'll make it available via YouTube. And so this organization, they researched papers up to 2007 in various databases, and they found that stevia plants have functional and sensory properties superior to many of those on high potent sweeteners such as sugar. So stevia is likely to become a major source of potency. Some people like the sugar, but again, like I said, I believe in Mary Poppins, a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. That being said, there are diabetic patients who are interested in decreasing calorie intake. So stevia is a no calorie sweetener. That's a pro. Stevia is a small perennial shrub that's been used for centuries to help with biosweeteners and other medical uses to help lower blood sugar. But also you got hibiscus that people use to help lower blood sugar. Again, all these are cited on our Zen's Tea House website. So I hope that helps, because again, Zen's Tea House, our mission statement is helping people through the power of tea, and the big way we do it is through education. Now, I'm going to go to our testimonial page on our Zen's Tea House website, because again, I mentioned earlier we had a lady who emailed us saying that she got she was low on money, so she stopped buying her tea, and she could physically feel the repercussions of not having her tea. Uh, there's a video on the Yelp page. It's on our testimonial page. The video is on Yelp. It's called Zen's Tea House Yelp Review, and in it there's a lady named well, I can't mention her name, but you could take a look right there. She gave us a few stars, saying that a doctor of hers recommended Zen's Tea House because she was having some unhealthy medical side effects, and she went to go see what Zen's Tea House had to offer. Again, this is a medical physician. I don't know who this doctor is. I actually never met Angela. Angela's the one who let the Yelp review. What we're doing is we're showing that this is a case, and we're bringing in more medical physicians who are going to not only testify about the benefits of these teas and herbs, but they're going to promote them, because this is a growing industry. Complementary and alternative healthcare is more of preventative healthcare, with about 1/3 of Americans have I had not heard of monk fruit, sorry. Good. 1/3 of Americans who are using complementary alternative medicine, it's something that we as a nation have to take a look at. Thanks to thanks to universal healthcare now being enacted, where companies with over 50 employees now are required to have healthcare insurance, there's a lot of medical physicians who are jumping into business saying, hey, you know what? We need to get these people healthy, and we need to stop all these turnaround doctor visits. Why? Because it's an industry. If you are physically drinking and eating in excess and you're not feeling good and you're going back to the doctor's office, guess what? Health insurance policy is going to rise. More doctors are going to be upset about how you're treating their patients, and they're not happy about that. All this means, okay, so we just talked, are there teas that will combine sugar cravings? I hope that answers the question. I'm going to type that up. It says yes, sweet stevia. We do have it available. You can call our website, you can call the company. It's called Zen's Tea House. Our website is www.zenstea.com. You can take a look at the 188 number, and you can place an order over the phone. All right, I'm going to make that herb publicly available online right after we publish this, because I know we have it. It's just currently not available. Sounds good? All right. Got the owner looking at me, staring me down with his hardcore beard. It's very intimidating. So, as we were saying earlier, no, I'm just joking, Nick. You can stay right there. You go right ahead. So we talked about stevia and we talked about turmeric. Now, what are the differences between turmeric and stevia? Stevia is a leaf. It comes from a shrub. Turmeric is a root. Now, what's the difference between a root and a shrub? Well, roots grow underground, and stevia is a plant like a shrub will just grow anywhere. I mean, you could grow here in Southern California. It grows in many parts throughout the world. You can you can get stevia in the mountain regions, Appalachian mountain regions, and you'll taste that stevia, and it's going to taste a little different from the stevia that you'll find in Latin America or stevia that you might find in Southern California, which is where we're from. So I'm going to finish the last 10 minutes on turmeric because it's a very important herb that many people are using. So there's a abstract about, there is a published article about the benefits of turmeric, and I want to go and just touch on a little bit about it because a lot of people think that turmeric is a diuretic. Diuretic means it helps get rid of water weight. Some people think that turmeric is a natural cure-all. No, it helps as an anti-inflammatory because of its main ingredient, curcumin, which is not an ingredient. It's actually just a biological property because every herb and tea carries with it, a genetic makeup. And so when you're looking at a tea and herb, please consult with your licensed medical physician because your diet, that is, the diet can make or break how you physically feel. Even though you can be mentally and emotionally stable, if you're consuming roots of turmeric and every meal that you have and you're not feeling great, then it could have a negative effect on your body. Some people don't care for curry powder. Turmeric is a huge is well known is it's typically used in turmeric, or turmeric is typically used in curry powder. So take a look at that because if you look at pharmacology, there's a subject called ethnopharmacology. Turmeric is one of the top herbs used for its health benefits. Sounds great. Awesome. So we're going to make it available online. If you have any questions, please email me, fernando@zenstea.com. I'm going to finish off of this last aspect right now. So the 10 most complementary and health approaches among adults. Number one, this is according to a 2012 census from the National Center for Complementary and Integrative Health. Number one is natural products. About 17.7% of people are using natural products. This is 1 out of 8. This is quite a bit of people. What I was happy to see is that deep breathing is actually number 2. Deep breathing is a natural type of complementary in healthcare. Yeah, deep breathing does help astronomically. Breathing. Now, again, bronchitis, yes. I'm not a respiratory therapist. I'm not a pneumatologist. I think that's the right word. I'm not claiming to be a medical doctor, but I'm saying is that people who use natural products, yes, those are great. 17.7% of people are using these natural products to help their body. But deep breathing falls second with 10.9%. And then you have yoga, Tai Chi, and Qui-Gon. That's 10.1%. Wow, people, I love that. I'm really happy to see that Qui-Gon, yoga, and Tai Chi are used as complementary and alternative healthcare. What I'm sad to see is fourth on the list. Number 1 is natural products. Zen's tea and herbs falls in that category. Deep breathing. Number 2, Qui-Gon, yoga, Tai Chi. Number 3, and then chiropractic. That's so sad. Oh my gosh, chiropractic should be used by everyone. I have no problem saying that. Excuse me. So osteopathic manipulation. I'm gonna try to bring in one of my friends his name is Dr. Ken. Excuse me. He's a bone doctor. He's an osteopathic doctor. He has a natural approach to healing, a natural approach to medicine. I'm going to see if I can bring him on board. Please email me if you have any questions regarding chiropractor, Qui-Gon, Tai Chi, natural products. Turmeric and stevia can be one of them. Again, this media platform, this adrenaline radio, this Facebook Live, YouTube live streaming, all this is available because We genuinely are trying to help people through the power of tea. So if you have any questions, please email us at fernando@zenstea.com, info@zenstea.com. Download our our pamphlets, because all of our pamphlets, actually, you can go on our website, the homepage, there's a pamphlet right there. You can download it with all the citations. So number 4 is chiropractor and osteopathic manipulation. Number 5 is meditation. I like to meditate. I meditate on the Word of God. You can give me a thumbs up if you know what that means. But yeah, I meditate. Massage. That's number 6, and special diets, number 7. That's funny. You would think that special diets would be higher as a type of natural complementary alternative healthcare. No, special diets is actually only 3%. 3% of young people in America use special diets to help as medicine. That's a problem. That's a huge, huge, huge problem. Because natural products are great, yeah, but the diet doesn't change. Finally, there's homeopathy, which is number 8. Homeopathy, progressive relaxation, and guided imagery. Guided imagery is number 10 on the list. We'll provide that information via YouTube channel. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're live streaming this, of course, through Facebook, but the Facebook Live, the pixels are typically not that great. We got about 6 minutes left. The pixels aren't that great, so if you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, please thumbs it up, forward it to other people, because this is our second time. You take a look. We got a pamphlet. You could ask my wife. The first time I do anything, it's never right. You can also ask my mom. Pretty much any woman I've ever been close to. So, again, let's find out. This book, the Holistic Business Handbook, it's a book that I'm using as a reference. It's available online through Amazon. I'm going to read the forward part again. If you didn't watch the first time, that's fine. I'm probably just going to keep the first YouTube channel, the YouTube video, unlisted, because quite frankly, I'm a little embarrassed with how poor of a job I did. But hey, you know what? We're learning, we're growing, and we're helping people. So this book that was written, it was written for people who are interested in complementary and alternative healthcare. It's not a prescribe how to do job. No, people who want a better understanding of how the holistic business industry works. It's a very growing industry. It's one of the fastest growing industries. Hospitals is number 1. And there's often misconceptions of what holistic health is. Some people think holistic health means that it's organic. Yeah, it typically does mean that it's organic. But holistic, complementary, and alternative healthcare is not an alternative. It's actually more preventative. And because there's often ethnocentric misconceptions. If you come from South America, Africa, China, pretty much any country that has a large amount of natural resources like that grow in your backyard, you will use the plants in your backyard as medicine. Why? Because it's cheaper, but your society probably is familiar with how these natural products, these teas and herbs, can be used as an effective type of healthcare. So, in this book, this is some present-day statistics. It's published by the National Center for Complementary and Integrative Health, also known as the National Center for Complementary and Alternative Medicine. There's some references to the FDA. If you watch the beginning of this, I did my FDA disclaimer of what that means and the definitive terms that are used in the White House Commission and Alternative Policy. The goal of this book is to educate people about the medical industry, because it's one of the things that's continuing to develop. Zen's Tea House does CBD teas. That's CBD infused teas. Medical marijuana is not CBD. They're separate. Cannabidol oils will make that available. We'll make that information available, but we do CBD teas. And why aren't we selling it online? Why isn't we selling it at our warehouse? It's because the medical marijuana industry is constantly changing. There's a lot of people who are investing in it. Yes, Zen's Tea House is publicly traded on the OTC stock market, trading symbol NJTV, but we are constantly under revision. We are checking ourselves. We're growing. We're working with the doctors. We're working with government agencies to make sure that the information that we provide is not only credible, it's ethical, but it is legitimate. You can tie it to a university, you can tie it to a definitive research organization that is genuinely interested in education. I'm going to finish with this last quote. It was Thomas Edison. The doctor of the future will give no medication, but will interest his patients, or her, in the care of the human frame, diet, and in the cause and prevention of disease. Thomas Edison was not a medical physician, but he's often quoted as making this statement, and it's phenomenally great. A lot of people don't know that when you're looking at your healthcare that you need to be paying attention to the medical physicians. Are they actually leading you to ask questions about your health? Are they asking you to evaluate your diet? Are they asking you to evaluate what you're consuming and what you're not consuming? I mentioned it earlier. We live in a consumer nation, a selfie nation. I get to prescribe my own self, and I get to choose my own healing, and how I get to heal myself. It's a challenge. Every culture, every society, every generation will have its own challenges. Currently, what we're facing is an epidemic of an assortment of health problems, and we believe Zen's Tea House that education is a great place to start. So if you really enjoyed this, please subscribe to our Zen's Tea House YouTube channel. We're going to be providing a lot more information. Our goal is to bring in as many doctors, medical physicians, and healers, because not all the healers are licensed by the state to practice, to come in and help. So again, thank you very much. Please subscribe to our channel, and we hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you.